Yep, the 2009 Christmas draft is just about wrapped up, with everything finally having a spot. As for the official draft class, well, I'll just tell you right now what's in it. Basically, I added a few games, namely Virtua Tennis 5, Virtua Tennis 3, Virtua Fighter 5, as well as Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Now, I could spend hours rambling on about the reasoning behind this decision, but I know that we got places to go and things to see. So basically, let's just say that, I don't know, I like those games.
So what was all that Christmas draft business about? Well, the Christmas draft is a tradition that I really hit big with in 2004 to 2011. Every year I would have this extensive Christmas draft, I would call it, kind of named after the professional sports drafts like the NFL draft, where I would have a number one overall pick, and in layman's terms, these were the things I wanted for Christmas. So every year I would do scouting by looking up game reviews and different stuff like that. And in 2009 and again in 2011, I did these kind of extensive videos about it and the different games I wanted. In the draft, I will be selecting, I don't even need the list for this, Sonic Generations, Xbox 360. Well, I still kind of do it today. I don't do it to the same level I used to. I used to actually have my own logos specifically for the drafts and then the Christmas itself. So yeah, it became pretty time consuming. For the first couple weeks of Christmas season, I would be doing the Christmas draft or whatever. But I still do, obviously, have things I'm looking forward to. Last year I did my top 5 anticipated games for 2018. So now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and, kind of tell you some of the stuff I'm looking forward to this year. And there's actually not like a whole lot, but there are a couple things that are going to be significant to me. And most of my picks, if not all of them, are going to be based on nostalgia. So the big thing for me, so to speak, is the Sega Genesis Mini. I absolutely loved the idea of Sega making one and jumping in the ring with Nintendo and their Super Nintendo Classic and all that. But what floored me even more is that it was actually Sega licensing it and not AT Games or some knockoff brand. So Sega actually put out, I guess you can call it a console, it's just a mini console. They put out the Sega Genesis Mini. I absolutely love the box art. It looks just like the old Genesis box. Everything about it is just so 90s, and it has 42 games. Some of them I have, a lot of them I don't. Actually, out of all of them, other than the Sonic games, I'm looking forward to playing Mickey's Castle of Illusion. That's a game I was always kind of interested in but never had access to. I'm a little disappointed that you can't just plug your own cartridges into it to kind of add to it, but the 40 games on display here, most of them are absolutely amazing, and obviously Sonic 2 is a big one for me, but just all of them. And of course, there's that idea of getting a Sega console for Christmas. I realize it's not an actual Sega new console. Would have been kind of cool if they released a Dreamcast Mini, but just, hey, as luck would have it, the fact that Sega's releasing anything in 2019 like that is pretty awesome to me. And sticking with that nostalgia theme, I'm actually putting on my draft list for the first time since 2009 a few Dreamcast games, Power Stone 2, Dead or Alive 2, and a game called Sturmwind, or Sturmwind, depending on how you want to pronounce it, made by a German studio in 2013. Sturmwind is a shoot 'em up. It's kind of your basic, I don't know what to compare it to, but it looks like a really fun game. I've heard good things about it, and again, just the idea of playing a Dreamcast game in 2019, one that was made in the last decade even, is just kind of really awesome, and just kind of another way to keep the past alive. 2019, and really the last few years in general, I've seen kind of a resurgence of 1990s properties, and I'm really excited about that. So, I'm also going to be asking for a few movies that kind of relay that, with Detective Pikachu and Toy Story 4, a couple movies I saw over the summer that I really enjoyed, kind of bringing back some of those childhood memories, even though there never was a Pokemon movie like that back in the day, but just Pokemon in general was a big part of my life in the late 90s, and Toy Story, I loved all those movies, and Toy Story 4 was really good. So, again, there'll be a few other movies like Shazam and Endgame that came out this year that I'm really looking forward to seeing again. And, again, I love watching movies during Christmas, because the week after Christmas, it's usually very cold, there's not much to do, so I stay inside, I have some popcorn, and I watch, these movies. And actually, one game that I just played recently, very recently, I played a demo of, was New Super Lucky's Tale for Nintendo Switch. And that's a game that has quickly endeared itself to me, again, for its nostalgic nature. It's just a good old-fashioned 3D platformer, really no frills to it. It looks good. I'm not saying it's the best game ever, but as soon as I played it, I was kind of reminded of, I don't know, Crash Bandicoot, or even some of the early kind of like, actually, Sonic Adventure kind of came to mind just because of the tailspin attack and the ability to dig into the ground like Knuckles, but like it's just it looked like a fun game, and it was fun for the little time I played it. I've always said that if I could demo more games, I'd probably be more interested, because there's probably a lot of great games out there I don't know about, but anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to as far as 2019 goes, but believe it or not, this year is not so much about the things I'm looking forward to in games, it's more just the entire Christmas season, so I'm putting a lot less of an emphasis on like, oh, I really want this game, or oh, I really want this movie, or whatever. Like, yeah, that stuff's great, but I don't know, I'm just looking forward to spending Christmas with my family and friends, and that's really going to be the story of it. And if I get any or all of these things, that's great too, but that's not really what I'm excited about. I'm excited about Christmas as a total package, so I was just kind of throwing that out there as stuff that I am looking for, but yeah, other than that, I mean, if there's anything you guys are looking forward to this Christmas season or beyond, feel free to let me know in the comments. And until the next video, open your heart.